Know the top stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed. Hi, I'm Barbie Atienza. This is MB Now, and here are your news on web.
Online looked for President Rodrigo Roa Duterte after the cancellation of his weekly public address and rumors that the chief executive suffered a mild stroke. The hashtag rose to Twitter's trending topics on Wednesday night with over 8,000 tweets asking for the president's whereabouts following the recent rumors surrounding his health. This prompted Duterte's longtime aide Senator Bongo to post photos of himself with Duterte inside his residence in Malacanang late Wednesday evening. Photos posted on Go's Facebook page showed Duterte seated behind a table cluttered with documents and a pile of newspapers. Go was standing on the other side of the table. Duterte's last public appearance was March 29 in a meeting with the government's pandemic task force. Questions about the president's health rose after presidential spokesman Harry Roque said Duterte's weekly public address, usually held on Mondays, was moved to Wednesday, April 7. However, he announced that Duterte's address was moved to next week. Roque's announcement was followed by rumors that the president suffered from mild stroke. The information supposedly coming from a reliable source of a news website. Malacanang officials quickly dismissed the report as fake news. Netizens also wondered if Duterte was in Singapore following the news that his daughter Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio flew to the said country early this week. Carpio explained that her trip was for personal health reasons.
Members of the Senate are not pleased with President Duterte's decision to lower the tariffs for imported pork products for a year to supposedly address the country's lack in pork supply. The Senate last March 15 adopted a resolution asking Duterte to reject the Department of Agriculture's proposal to lower the tariffs and increasing the minimum access volume for pork imports. Duterte already approved the DA's recommendation to increase the MAV from 54,210 metric tons to 350,000 metric tons within this year. On Wednesday, April 7, he signed another executive order modifying the import duty on pork products from the current in-quota tariff of 30% to 5% for the first 3 months and to 10% for the 4th to 12th months of its effectivity. Existing out-quota tariff would also be reduced from 40% to 15% in the first 3 months and to 20% in the remaining 9 months. Hog raisers feared that with the increased MAV and lowered import duties, there would be an oversupply of pork that will eventually put local producers and distributors at a disadvantage. Administration ally Senator Cynthia Villar, chairman of the Senate Agriculture and Food Committee, said the move would kill the local swine industry. The Soto-led Senate Committee of the Whole will conduct a hearing on April 12 to investigate the food security crisis brought about by the African swine fever outbreak, as well as Senator Panfilo Lacson's expose on the alleged tong pads or padded costs on imported pork. Lacson earlier claimed that there is a padded cost of 5 pesos to 7 pesos per kilogram of pork that would go to the pockets of unscrupulous officials.
The United States on Wednesday warned China against what the Philippines and Taiwan see as an increasingly aggressive moves, reminding Beijing of Washington's obligations to its partners. A State Department spokesman Ned Price told reporters that an armed attack against the Philippines Armed Forces public vessels or aircraft in the Pacific, including in the South China Sea, will trigger their obligation under the U.S.-Philippine Mutual Defense Treaty. More than 200 Chinese boats were first spotted on March 7 at Whitsun Reef or Julian Felipe Reef, around 320 kilometers west of Palawan Island in the contested South China Sea, although many have since scattered across the Spratly Island. China, which claims almost the entirety of the resource-rich sea, has refused weeks of appeals by the Philippines to withdraw the vessels, which Manila says unlawfully entered its exclusive economic zone. Tensions have also risen with Taiwan, which Beijing claims is part of China, with the self-governing democracy on Wednesday reporting that 15 more of the mainland's planes crossed into the island's air defense zone. Price voiced concern about the Chinese move, saying that the United States maintains the capacity to resist any resort to force or other forms of coercion that would jeopardize the security or the social or economic system of the people on Taiwan. He was using language from the Taiwan Relations Act, under which the United States is obliged to provide the islands with the means to defend itself against Beijing. President Joe Biden has vowed a robust defense of allies, and in rare point of continuity with his predecessor Donald Trump, has supported strong pushback against Chinese assertiveness.
Here is a roundup of news in and around Metro Manila. Let's watch this.
Parañaque City Mayor Edwin Olivarez said that as far as the city of Parañaque is concerned, it is in favor of lowering the quarantine status for the National Capital Region, plus the provinces of Bulacan, Cavite, Laguna, and Rizal. COVID-19 cases have started to decline. In a television interview, Olivarez, who is also chairman of the Metro Manila Council, said that he is in favor of reverting to more relaxed, modified, enhanced community quarantine or MECQ. The MMC Chairman said they will have a meeting on Saturday with an interagency task force for the management of emerging infectious disease on the Metro Mayor's recommendation on the quarantine classification for the NCR+. He said the capacities of hospital will also be considered by the MMC in its recommendation. A shift to MECQ is one of the possibilities looked at, as well as by the Octa Research Group. Taguig Mayor Lino Cayetano thanked the national government for allocating some 805.83 million pesos worth of financial assistance, which is now being distributed to residents severely affected by the 2-week Enhanced Community Quarantine or ECQ. Cayetano said the money will be distributed speedily and efficiently to Taguig residents needing it. On Wednesday, the Taguig local government unit started distributing the emergency relief assistance coming from the national government. Cayetano also said, in line with the directive of the national government, each beneficiary will receive 1,000 pesos, while a family with 4 members or more will get a maximum of 4,000 pesos emergency assistance.
And now let's take a look at the latest news in other parts of the country. Here are the details.
The provincial government of Pangasinan is apparently closing its doors to COVID-19 patients of the National Capital Region who would wish to be accommodated there. This after the capacity of hospitals in the province has reached 80% as of yesterday, April 7. In a statement, Governor Amado Espino III said that their hospitals will only accommodate Pangasinense patients suffering from the virus. Espino added that the Provincial Technical Working Group is to create a set of protocols between hospitals and isolation facilities in Pangasinan and the NCR Plus bubble. The Department of Health in Antique is ready to pull out 30 of its 130 nurses in the province to be deployed to 2 COVID-19 referral hospitals whose wards are already overwhelmed with patients. 16 of the 30 nurses will be assigned at the Angel Salazar Memorial General Hospital in the municipality of San Jose de Buenavista and 10 nurses at the Colasi District Hospital in Colasi Town, which is the primary and secondary COVID-19 referral facilities in the province. The province of Antique is experiencing a COVID-19 surge since March 11 after a positive patient joined a derby at the San Jose de Buenavista cockpit and contaminated other people inside. Local officials in Central Visayas cried foul over the supposed renaming of the P3 variant of SARS-CoV-2 from Philippine variant to Central Visayas Variant or CVV. This after the DOH in Central Visayas received reports that the Philippine variant was renamed to Central Visayas Variant in publication materials from the Philippine Communications Operations Office. Dr. Mary Jean Loreche, Chief Pathologist and spokesperson of the Department of Health Central Visayas, said it was discriminatory and disrespectful to name the P3 variant as Central Visayas Variant. The renaming of the variant to CVV also did not sit well with Cebu Governor Gwendolyn Garcia. She said that it is unfair and reckless and also cautioned those that have taken it upon themselves to call this variant as Central Visayas Variant unless they really believe Central Visayas or Cebu for that matter is another country.
Here are the updates from around the world, and here is that report.
President Joe Biden on Wednesday cast his proposed $2 trillion infrastructure plan as a make-or-break moment for ensuring U.S. supremacy on the world stage against a rising China. A huge revamp of transport links and investments in modern technologies are needed so America can lead the world as it has historically done, Biden said in a White House speech. China wants to own the future and the United States is being left behind because it has stopped emphasizing government-funded infrastructure and research and development, Biden warned. He also said that America is no longer the leader of the world because they are not investing. Biden is pitching a plan that goes far beyond the traditional roads and bridge types of infrastructure to take in the links of the internet, broadband, scientific research, renewable energy, and clean drinking water. No Republicans so far support the proposal, balking at the proposed increase in the corporate tax rate from 21 to 28% and accusing Biden of shoehorning irrelevant projects into overall bill in order to please the left of his Democratic Party. Qatar announced the reimposition of strict lockdown measures on Wednesday, banning most indoor activities except retail and work in an effort to contain surging coronavirus cases. Restaurants can still offer deliveries while mosques will remain open and set times for 5 times daily worship, but authorities ordered additional prayers for the Muslim holy month of Ramadan be conducted at home. Private and public sector workplaces will be limited to 50% of capacity and home visits between members of the different households remain illegal, according to the minutes published by the official Qatar news agency. While the country's death toll per capita is low, 9% of deaths since the beginning of the pandemic were during the past week, with authorities blaming the more potent British strain. 1 in 3 people infected with COVID-19 have suffered mental health or neurological symptoms. According to journal Lancet, psychiatry's researchers analyzed the health records of 236,379 COVID-19 patients and found that 34% have received diagnosis for a neurological or psychological condition with 6 months of their infection. The most common diagnoses were anxiety at 17% and mood disorders at 14%, the study showed. The authors noted that urgent research is needed to identify the mechanism involved.
Here are the latest in showbiz. Let's watch this.
Singer Taylor Swift releases a new song titled Mr. Perfectly Fine. The Grammy-winning pop artist dropped her new single last Tuesday, April 7, ahead of an album release this coming Friday. According to Rolling Stone, Mr. Perfectly Fine is a classic Swift. The country pop-flavored number was originally written before or during the original Fearless recording session when she was between the ages of 16 and 18. Prior to Mr. Perfectly Right, Swift also released You All Over Me featuring Maren Morris last March. The said track was also culled from the vaults of the original Fearless recordings. Swift recently revealed the full track listing of Fearless Taylor's version, which contains 27 tracks.
Here are the latest from Manila Bulletin's sports section. Let's watch this.
Alex Ayala rose from a first-set hiccup to stun Romanian 12-seed Laura Ioana Par in the W60 Bellinzona tournament in Switzerland early Thursday, April 8. Ayala kept her composure after losing the tightly contested opening frame where she trailed throughout from a 3-0 deficit. The 15-year-old Filipina rising star quickly recovered heading into the second set by breaking Par's serve in the first game. Ayala posted on Facebook after the game saying that she is happy with her win and thanked everyone for cheering her on. The win set up Ayala a third-round date with wildcard bet Simona Waltert of Switzerland, who also pulled off a shocking upset win over 7th pick Antonio Lautner of Germany.
And those are the news on Web today, April 8, 2021. For more news and details, get your copy of the Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow or log on to www.mb.com.ph. Or you may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link on this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin. Join us again tomorrow. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed.